Hello everyone, Professor Nevada here, and for this video, we will present the different essential functions of financial managers. Finance is one of the interrelated functions which deals with personal function, marketing functions, production functions, research and development activities of business. Finance manager is one of the important role players in field of finance function. He must have the entire knowledge in the area of accounting, finance, economics, and even management. His position is highly critical and analytical to solve various problems related to finance. Finance managers should perform the following relevant functions. So, isa-isahin po natin yung mga important functions na dapat ipine-perform ng isang financial manager. Number 1 is the forecasting financial requirement. It is the primary function of the finance manager. He is responsible to estimate the financial requirement of the business. Let's say, for example, company XYZ will be having a business expansion for next year. So, the company plans to add more branches in order for them to meet the market demand. So, in this case, the finance manager is the one who is responsible for the estimation of necessary fund for the said business expansion. But take note that estimation of the financial requirement is not just an easy task for a financial manager because it requires a forecasting skills. Anyway, we will learn how to do a capital budgeting naman in some other discussions. But I want to reiterate that the forecasting of financial requirements of the company is one of the primary functions of financial manager. He should estimate how much finances are required to acquire fixed assets and forecast the amount needed to meet the working capital requirement of the business in the future. So in this case, the finance manager is required to forecast the necessary amount needed for the fixed assets. Okay, so let's have a short review of your accounting subjects. Can you comment down some of the examples of fixed assets? The number 2 important function of finance manager is the acquiring necessary capital. After deciding the financial requirement of the business, the finance manager should concentrate how the finance is mobilized and where it will be available. So, it is highly critical in nature. So, dugtungan natin yung kwento natin kanina. Let's say the financial manager is already identified the amount needed for the business expansion nung company XYZ. Okay, so then the next thing that the manager should do is to know where this needed capital or fund will came from. Sabi natin, this function is highly critical in nature. So the reason why this function is highly critical in nature is that the finance manager should be confident to whatever decision yung gagawin nila. If they will look for the potential investor para dun sa project, they need to pay attention to the capacity of the organization to protect the interest of both parties. So they need to protect the interest of the organization and at the same time to protect the interest of the potential shareholders of the company. It is highly critical for the manager because it will require a serious decision making sa part nila. Another important function ng financial manager is the investment decision. The finance manager must carefully select the best investment alternatives and consider the reasonable and stable return from the investment. So one of the critical tasks of the financial manager is the investment decision. He is a responsible individual for the assessment and analyzing of the investment alternatives. He must be well versed in the field of capital budgeting techniques to determine the effective utilization of investment. Again, we will have a separate discussion about capital budgeting. The finance manager must concentrate to principles of safety, liquidity, and profitability while investing capital. Another is cash management. Present day cash management plays a major role in the area of finance because proper cash management is not only essential for effective utilization of cash, but it also helps to meet the short-term liquidity position of the company. Some organizations might experience difficulties in terms of their cash flows. So, pwedeng ang daming lumalabas na cash sa kanila or yung cost sa kanila, pero minimal lang yung pumapasok na income. So, dito po pumapasok yung function ng finance manager about management of cash. The finance manager should ensure that the cash flow of the company ay namamanage ng maayos. So in our given scenario a while ago, the finance manager should make financial strategies to maximize the profit and to minimize the cost. So when we talk about the company's short-term liquidity naman, the finance manager should ensure that the company can able to meet the short-term financial requirements ng isang company. So babalik yan dun sa investment decision function ng isang manager. If the company have enough money to invest, hindi basta-basta magi-invest ang isang company, so the manager should or the finance manager should analyze it muna. They need to ensure na kapag nag-invest yung company is hindi po mapipilayan ang kumpanya. So meron pa rin dapat na may iwad na cash o working capital doon sa company para if ever na mga ilangan sila ng fund or cash for their short-term obligations, meron pa rin silang magagamit. Okay, so another function of financial manager is the interrelation with other department. When we say interrelation, it means that different business areas should have a shared working relationship. So finance manager deals with various functional departments such as marketing, production, personnel, research and development, and other business areas. Finance managers should have a solid knowledge not only in finance related area but also well versed in other business areas. He must maintain a good relationship with all functional departments of the business organizations. So in the nutshell, financial manager performs vital functions in any business organizations. Their function is very important to business in order for the company to have the effective and efficient business operations. That's all for this video. I hope you learned something. Keep safe, everyone.